Understand market trends with patience and achieve effective trading risk management.
Right, which is right down here. You click this little hexagon button right here, and then you go to session. Then you will see electronic, and then you will see regular. Make sure you click regular. I just want to see the opening range gap. All right, where is that opening range gap at? So we got a really small opening range gap. It's down here. So not that big, but I just wanted to make sure I'm aware of that, because that could, price could maybe want to pull it back down there. So we still haven't done anything, right? But we're on the 1 minute time frame. Remember what I told y'all, what I'm looking for on the hourly chart, right? If you were a new trader, this is how you want to see this. I'm going to remove this green box off of my chart for a while. I'm going to remove this yellow bubble, right? We swept that liquidity. We can make this yellow because this is the liquidity we're looking for next. On the hourly chart, we want to see how it's going to close, right? Because sometimes the market will do something like this, right? It might go right below this liquidity right here and just stop, and then start to sell off for a little bit. So we want to make sure that this 1 hour candle is going to close above either this swing high, right, or this swing high, because that's going to let us know how bullish or bearish we really are, right? So the reason why a lot of people, they can't help but trade as soon as the market opened is because obviously, yeah, this was pretty obvious. We caught our trend. We could have found that trade that I told y'all about, that first idea that I had. Y'all see why I had it on my chart. Did I take the trade? No, I didn't take it. All I need is one trade, y'all. So me, I'm really patient. Because for me, this would have been more of like a scalp. Like I told you, even if I did buy right here, I would have already sold somewhere down there. I would have never really held all the way up here, even though we knew we had liquidity up here, right? We already talked about on a daily time frame the midpoint of this wick, right? We already said that in the beginning of the video. We said we're going to look for the price to draw up into this wick. So we know where the market is going, and we know, where liquidity is. The only thing now is getting into the trade, right? We want to make sure we don't get faked out. So the price is obviously very, bullish right now, because obviously, we swept that liquidity on a 5 minute. This is a breakaway gap, and it's a breakaway gap because notice how price came right above it and kept going. That's why if you go back and rewind the video, y'all will see I have my stop loss right down here at the bottom of this candle. That was the first idea I had, and I was hoping that it was going to come low like this, because I don't want it to come down here if I want this to be a buy, right? I want this gap to stay open so that price can be exactly how it is now, right? It's moving really fast to the upside. So if you're somebody who wants to trade, the first 30 minutes of the day, I would say you have to use the first presented fair value gap. All right, so the first presented fair value gap is right here. I think today is what, the 28th or the 26th? And then lock that on your chart. All right, so now we're going to see how price starts to respect this first presented fair value gap, right? Mind you, we're still waiting for that hourly candle to close. We have already swept this liquidity. We already swept this London high, right? We should be able to keep going up, honestly, but we're going to wait because we don't want to, like I said earlier, get faked out. right? And plus we already hit the midpoint, right, of that daily candle. So we already hit a lot of targets. If you got in, congratulations. If you missed it, don't worry about it. I'm showing you guys how to find a trade. Right? There's no need to worry about missing trades. Like, trades are going to come all through the day, all through the week. If you don't take one today, come back tomorrow. All right? I'm already aware that it's the beginning of the week. I haven't even looked at the Forex Factory, to be honest with you. I need to go on Forex Factory and check out the news. So there's no news for today. Tuesday, there's some orange folder news, really nothing. Tuesday. Wednesday, we got FOMC coming at 2 p.m. So Wednesday is going to be a really crazy day to trade. So we have FOMC at 2 p.m. And then for Thursday, we have 8:30 unemployment claim news. That's a red folder news event at 8:30. And then Friday, we have core PPI. And we have PPI at 8:30 on Friday, right? So we know we want to be trading Wednesday, and then we know we want to trade maybe Thursday and Friday too. So what does that mean? You know, you really don't have to force it and rush it today. Like, when you get close to taking the payout, you really want to, like, you know, breathe. Just try to breathe a little bit, relax, and not really force anything. Be super patient. All right, we look at the 1 hour time frame. I told you guys I want to see, is this candle going to close above this swing high right here that I circled in this yellow bubble? All right, is this candle right here, all right, is this candle going to close above this yellow line, which is this swing high on the 1 hour time frame? That is very important information that I need to figure out. So we still haven't even placed a trade yet. All right, we're just gathering information. So we still have 20 minutes for this candle to close. All right, notice how we didn't take a trade, but we're not inside of like a choppy market. We're not over leveraged trying to take the buy hoping that it's going to go higher. We don't know if it's going to go up here and take out this high just yet. Right, we really need to see how this 1 hour candle is going to close. If this body closes above, right, this swing high, then I would say yes, we're definitely going to go up here and take out this high. But if it don't, it could just be creating more liquidity going up here, right? It could just touch this midpoint of this opening range gap again and then come right back down. But so far, everything looks very bullish, right? I wouldn't be touching the sell button at all. That's one thing I wouldn't be doing for sure. I would not even be looking at that sell button. Right? And then we also know that this blue line up here is what? Our daily high. So maybe it want to come up here and sweep this daily high, and then we can see what's going to happen right here. But it's a process, you guys. This process, it works, right? Like I said, I got in a 5-figure payout. I got in 4-figure payouts with this process. It works, I'm telling you. Just have to be patient. You don't have to be pushing a button every 2 seconds to be considered a day trader or a good trader. Right? You have to be patient. You have to have good risk management. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to have a process. Because you're only human, right? You're only human, and you're bound to make a mistake.